All right, we are live. Let's wait 2 minutes. Let everybody stroll on in. This is a free one, so we should fill up quickly through all the channels. Obviously, I can't see because my Twitter was hacked about 2 weeks ago, and still working to try to get it back. Truth is, what's hurt me is I like grabbing some information off of Twitter more than anything else. So I was going to create a new one just so I can do that and, get some following, whatever. But we're still talking with Twitter. Usually it's like 90% chance you're not going to get it back once it's hacked, and they change the email address and change all the two-factor FA, all that bullshit. But the only reason I'm still holding out is because Wager Talk has a good relationship with those social media platforms because of all the accounts, viewers, subscriptions they have through their corporation. So at least we're finally talking to a human being instead of getting like auto responses. Now, please, please, please save all comments until the end. Not comments, all questions until the end. I'll open the floor up. Do not worry. More importantly, I will go over every college basketball game and tell you why I'm passing or what my number is, what I like, what information I have. So we'll wait 30 seconds and I'll start right away because we have a lot to get to. And more importantly, it's that time of the year where we need to take advantage and add some profit to our 2026 bottom line. This is great opportunity. First, real quickly, I want to thank all of you guys that partnered up with me for 2026. So far, so good. I hope you followed our risk money management blueprint, or at least something very similar, so that you're as profitable as we already are. So far, we're a little ahead of schedule, but there's always going to be variance, good variance and bad variance over the course of a year. So without further ado, let's dive right in. The first thing I always do in the steam room before we go forward, we got to look back. This is sports betting. People are putting their money on opinions, on information. So you owe it to anyone who's willing to listen to you, let alone subscribe to you and pay you, exactly what your results are so that they know. In fact, if you watch The Gambler's Perspective, my podcast on UFC streaming network, I go over the last show results, the year-to-date results, and the podcast-to-date results from episode 1 to 150. And we do the same thing with UFC on the line. I'm very, very pro transparent results so that bettors know what they're up against. And more importantly, so that my subscribers can see that even during my most profitable years, they will have to endure some losing. That if they're not positioned so that they can absorb losses, I'm not going to be able to help them profit. And I am going to profit. I have no doubt. When December 31st rolls around, my results will be in that 0.5% of sports bettors on the planet that actually turned the profit. Luckily, I'm documented at Wager Talk, where every pick is shown, every result is shown. And more importantly for me, I have a huge enough following that if someone accidentally even makes a mistake and grades a push as a win, customer service will get 30 emails within an hour letting them know that Ace's record's off. So rest assured, it's as legit of a result as you're going to get. So 2026 so far this year. Let's see where we're sitting. All sports. All right, we're 60 units, up 60 units. Now, we did lose over the last 7 days. We bled some back. And more importantly, it was over the last 3 days of college basketball. We're 3 games under 500. Over the last 5 days, 4 days, forgive me, I've given out 15 college basketball picks. We're 6-9 with a push. Okay, so we're 3 bets under 500. Now, when I zoom out a little bit, here's what I see. that I'm number one in profit in 2026 in college basketball. I'm up over the last 30 days in college basketball. So when in doubt, zoom out. And more importantly, our goal is simple: to be profitable on December 31st. If our goals are aligned, I'm not going to disappoint you. But to get there, you're going to have to manage risk correctly. And here's what I mean. I managed to lose bankroll after bankroll after bankroll with access to the most profitable information because I was mismanaging the risk. I was overbetting the edge. So even though the groups I was working with obviously had an edge, I was overbetting that edge. And if you do that, you're going to run into a cold stretch where you're going to get wiped out. I'm sure it's happened to you multiple times because it's happened to me multiple times. The way we avoid that, if we truly are capable of profiting and we want to use sports betting as an investment vehicle, then we have to bet based on our bankroll. And more importantly, small in proportion to our bankroll because our individual edge per bet is small. So what do? I urge my subscribers to follow the Wager Talk rating only as a rating. So 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%, 5% is a rating. 1% being the weakest, 5% being the strongest. Now, I'm not going to go bet 4% on a bet, 5% on a bet, because your edge is just not going to be that big. Remember, we have to overcome 4.5% edge that the book already has built in at minus 110. So if you're truly going to have, another 4% on top of that, what do you think? You're going to get 8%, 9% edges on every bet you placed? That's just not mathematically even possible, let alone not even probable. It just can't happen. So what I do is I bet 0.25% of the rating. And I already determined that at the beginning of the year based on my bankroll. And I don't adjust that until I double up my bank or I'm negative half my bank. Then I have to readjust. All right. So what I do is by betting 0.25 of the rating, a 1% play is 0.25% of bankroll. A 2% rating is 0.5% of bankroll. A 3% rating is 0.75% bankroll. A 4% rating is 1% of bankroll. And a 5%, which is our biggest, strongest rating, is 1.25% of bankroll. So I will never bet more than 1.25% of my bankroll on a bet. That's what I urge subscribers to do. So if they have a $10,000 starting bankroll, they're never going to bet more than 125 flat on a dog or to win 125 on a favorite. Now, let's be honest. How many bettors out there are actually betting only $100 per bet if they have a $10,000 bankroll? Not many, right? Well, that's why 99.5% of all sports betting accounts have negative lifetime earnings. That's not my opinion, bro. That's the facts. I know everyone on social media wins. I know everyone on gambling Twitter wins, but the sports books tell us otherwise, that less than 0.5% actually are profitable. Okay? So you can keep over betting. You could keep taking that $1,000 bankroll, bet 100 a game. You'll get lucky sometimes. You'll have fat pockets for a while. But we all know how that ends up because it's happened to you how many times? Probably as many as it's happened to me. Probably not that many. So even with that bet spread, having 400 units behind me, I'm still working with an 80-20 risk of ruin, which means I'm expecting to double my bankroll 8 out of 10 times, but I'm also going to lose it 2 out of 10 times. That's with an edge. So if I've proven I have an edge, I'm a mathematical certainty to turn a profit long-term. I'm positive EV, just like blackjack, that they know I have the edge. With 400 units, I'll still lose my bankroll 2 out of 10 times. With 500 units, I'll lose it 1 out of 10 times. With 1,000 units, I'll lose it 1 out of 1,000 times. 1 out of 100, excuse me. So even with 1,000 units, so if I have $1,000 and I'm betting $1 a game, you're still expected to lose that bankroll 1 out of 100 times. How crazy is that? Think about that. You take $1,000 bankroll and you bet $1 a game. So you have 1,000 units. You're still at a 1% risk of ruin, where you're going to double your bank 99 out of 100, but there is that risk you're going to lose it 1 out of 100. So it just goes to show you, bet size and risk management is everything. I know you guys want games and plays. That's easy. That part's easy. I'm number 1 in college basketball. I'm number 1 in NHL. I'm like number 2 in MMA. I'm top 5 in NBA. Like, seriously, the information I get is ridiculous. You've seen the soccer. Go to wagertalk.com. You should be there every day at wagertalk.com looking at the free picks, because every day I've been putting free premium plays of soccer. And let me just look. I don't even know off the top of my head, so I'm going to look. I'm going to take that risk on live TV, something you shouldn't do. And let's see how I've done last 7 days in soccer. Oh, well, we've picked up over 11 units. We're 10-5 with a 24% ROI. So we've hit 67% of those soccer bets. 10-5 over the last 7 days. All for free at wagertalk.com. I share those because my subscribers are cool with it. And every one of those bets you should be able to get, because I don't release it until after I bet it. I swear to you, I release it and then I bet it, dude, to make sure. So if anyone sends bitching emails to customer service, I know they're just being a bitch. Either they don't have outs and they're claiming they have 8 outs when they don't, or they just want to bitch because they missed a couple bets or they took a couple bad beats and they need someone to blame. Because the bottom line is we're crushing it. And I told you what's going to happen in 2026. Anyone that was smart enough to partner up from January 1st, you got the best of it. You got the highest ROI. You're already ahead 60 plus units. You got the blackjack course, which is for free. And the best is still ahead. We needed to lose the last few days in college basketball, not lose 6-9, 3 games below 500, because you have to consolidate. You can't keep going up in a straight line. I was worried with the big dance coming up next week. I said, dude, we can't keep going like this. We need to consolidate a little bit. So this was refreshing. Now we move forward. And you saw today, what did I release in college basketball? 4 4% and 4 3%. I spread out our risk and spread out our volume. So that's only 1% of bankroll bets. So we only have 4% of our bankroll on those. And 0.75 4 times. So that's 3% of our bankroll in 3%. So we've tied up 7% of our bankroll. At VIG, we'll say 8% of our bankroll in college basketball. That's it. And I'm a volume guy. They call me a volume guy. And I still only have 8%. You should still have only about 8% of your entire bankroll on today's college basketball. That's a beautiful fucking thing. And I could keep hitting 55% over and over and over again like it's nothing. Like Matt Damon, just like Matt Damon on Good Will Hunting. Do you know how easy this is for me? I don't mean to be, again, please don't take this as arrogance, because I've been humbled more than most, okay? Because I bet every single day. I've been doing it for 3+ decades. So believe me, this market's humbled me plenty. But I know where I stand right now in my career. I know where I am in the trajectory of my lifespan. And I'm a master at what I do. I don't know a lot of things, but this I'm great at. There's not many better than me. Put me at a blackjack table or in a sports book and I'm fucking you up. And there's not much you can do about that. That's been proven. Anywhere else, bro, I'll take the L. I admit it. I got OCD. I got a one-track mind. I'm laser focused. I like to master one thing at a time. So believe me, I'm not a master of many things. And like I said, most of you are more educated than me, have more degrees, all that beautiful things. But these 2 things, I'm telling you, sports betting edge, advantage sports betting play, and advantage blackjack play, you're in the right fucking room. Backed by decades of results. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. So thank you. This was me taking 10 minutes to explain why I'm here and thank my subscribers, because for them, I come and do this every single week because I owe it to them, not just for them to buy my shit and believe me or to trust because of documented results, but no. So that I could come in here and answer for my results because I work for them. The day they buy their subscription, I'm now working for you. We are now partners, more or less. And the venture is obvious. It's to turn a profit over 2026. So far, so freaking good. Now, we're all here for college basketball, so let's cover that real quickly. Right now, I'm up 77 units in college basketball, 77.69. Okay? I have exactly a 5.0% ROI. And if you go back to 2017, when I sat down with Kelly Stewart, 9 years ago, and I talked about what a long-term edge looks like, and having moved money for betting syndicates as long as I have, I can tell you exactly what their ROI looks like long-term. Now, in the short term, it'll go up, it'll go down. But I'm talking over a statistically significant sample size of a couple thousand bets. If they're at 5% ROI, they are the 0.000001 of wise guys. If they're within plus 3 or 4%, they're in that 0.001% of wise guys. If they're, 2% or better, they're in that 0.1% of wise guys. And then if you're profitable, you're just in that 0.5% that's actually profitable. So right now we're a little ahead of where we should be. I got exactly 5% ROI, and that's a little high. Let's be honest. I'm not a wizard. I'm not reading palms and shit. What are those called? See, I brain freeze because English is my second language. Psychics, there you go. I'm not a psychic, but I can tell you I've given out exactly 472 college basketball bets, almost 500 college basketball bets. I've cashed 55% of those. That's all you need, 55%. That I can sustain. That's what you need from your source. Anytime oh, what's wrong, bud? You okay? It's okay. You had a bad dream? Bad dream? It's okay. I'm right here. New puppy. Anytime you consider a source of information or paying for information, just ask yourself one simple question. Are these results that I'm after sustainable? That's key. Because again, if you're buying from me because I'm 2-0 on my 5% in college basketball, and that's the only reason, because that's where I am. I've only given 2 5% big moves in this entire college basketball season. Number one in college basketball, I've only released 2 bets that warrant a 5%. Okay? And that's only 0.25% more than a 4 in bet size for us. That's nothing. And if I put a 5% up today, I would have sold, you have no idea how many packages. But thank God I refuse to do that. I'm not doing it for the money, bro. Yeah, I want money. Everybody wants money. I love money. Are you kidding me? So obviously, yeah, it's for money. But I will not sell out for money. Fuck no. I will win for my subscribers first and foremost. And because of that, I will make money. That's why I make money. It's not because I'm selling any kind of short-term streak. Because today I could have put up a 5%. Bro, it's conference championship Saturday. Everyone's looking for a 5%, a game of the year, a conference tournament, game of the blah, 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 up the ass. Everyone's looking for that. No 5% for me today. Nope. We spread our risk. Why? Because even though we're sitting at number one in profit, last 3 days, we're 3 games below 500 on our bets. And I like 8 bets today already. There's no reason to zero in on that one when I don't think we're going to get the closing line value that warrants that big of a bet. So we'll move on to tomorrow and we'll move on to the tournament, the big dance. Again, yeah. Would my wife be pissed if I was married that I didn't put up to sell 5% today? Yeah, absolutely. And she'd have every right to be. I get it. But I hope my subscribers understand why we don't have a 5%. Because I respect you too much to do it just so I can sell to guys that want to buy daily packages. I'm not down with that. I don't like that. I like guys that want to partner with me because I know the guys that are jumping in for the daily, they need a big hit. They're looking for a score. And it's awesome when you hit one in sports betting, but anytime you're gambling, brother, the chances of you losing are usually going to be greater than the chances of you winning because the house is always going to have the edge when you're gambling. So you'll never be in a fair fight when you're gambling. So what I like to do is I tilt the table in my favor. So I make it at worst a fair fight, but usually we got the upper hand. We're fighting up a weight class. We're fighting at 205, but they're weighing in at 185. That's how we're playing it. And that's why we've been profitable. So only 2.5% so far in college basketball. Don't worry, because I know you guys been asking. We'll have some. They'll come. If they come, they'll probably come during the tournament. Who knows? Maybe one of the championship games tomorrow. It was almost Duke tonight, I'll tell you that, because I power rated Duke to win by 10. Okay? And they were sitting at 6.5. And that's pretty close. That's pretty close. That would definitely be a 4% play, close to a 5% based on my edge. But I saw that there was some sharp guys I respect nibbling on the dog. So I got to respect that. I chilled, I waited. But then one of the groups I work with came in, buy order, Duke minus 6.5. Boom, they confirmed it. We bet it. Now, I knew it was going to go to 7, 7.5, probably even 8. So right there, we would have lost our CLV, and it doesn't warrant a 5%. Even when we've lost 5%, let's be honest, 9 out of 10 times, we're getting a ton of CLV. And I know most say, oh, the CLV trophy. That's because you don't understand sports betting, okay? CLV means you are mathematical certainty to be profitable because you're beating the market. CLV is how they assess stockbrokers. It's just labeled differently. Can you beat the close? Can you draw your lines to where the line's going, to where the chart's going, not where it's been? Exact same thing, bro. Trust me. Exact same thing. Can you get out ahead of the markets? That's all that matters. All right. Now, let's me go over today's action because we got a lot of it. I'll answer questions. And then I'll jump off because, you know, I got to do MMA like I do with my main man every week. And so far, it's been good. Now, real quickly, I'm going to look just in case I missed something. Yeah, it's jackpot. He's hurting, man. He's hurting. He had falling like 2 days ago, but I've had to take him to the vet, because like when you get him the first 3 days, they say take him to the vet. So I took him to the vet and I said, hey, he fell yesterday, but he seems fine. Like he screamed, cried, whatever, but he seemed okay. And he was. The doctor's like, no, he's good. He's good. They're a lot more durable than you think. So make a long story short, I was okay with it. This morning, my man's limping. So I don't know whether it's just he's sore now it just hit or whatever. Yeah, that worries me. I do a weekly MMA podcast for the UFC well, actually, right now we're kind of waiting to see what they're going to do with Fight Pass. So we've been just putting a podcast up on YouTube on MMA Odds Breakers site because I had a contract with the UFC for the podcast and it expired. They redid it for another year. And now that it expired, they moved to Paramount. And I don't know what they're going to do with the podcast, if they're going to keep podcasts or whatever, but we wanted to keep it going for a little bit, see what's going on. So we're using it. We're still doing it. It's called The Gambler's Perspective, but I also do a show for the UFC. It's our 7th season called UFC On the Line. Best gambling show. I got to say. since day one, this show keeps results, man, without knowing how it was going to turn out or anything like that. I give them mad props. But anyway, so yeah, I'll give you my opinion on UFC before we jump off, for sure. So, all right, let's just dive right in. What I'm doing over at Sportsmemo, so you guys know, check over there daily, bro. Because listen, I understand not every bankroll should be paying for information. Like if you have a $500 bankroll, it makes absolutely no sense to be buying a subscription from me. Like that would be foolish. Instead, you should take advantage of the SteamRoom. You should watch Wager Talk Today. You should ingest everything you can that's free, because you got to keep your ROI high, your expenses low when your bankrolls, when your business is starting out. So what I'm using Sportsmemo for is if I have a play I love, that's close to a 5%, but not like better than a 4, but not a 5. I said, I swear, I'm going to put it at Sportsmemo. Since I've made that commitment, I'm 5-0 over there. Not saying I'm not going to stay at 100%. I promise you that. I guarantee you I won't stay at 100%. But I do expect those results to do well because it's not every day. You see, it's been like 2 weeks. I fired 5 plays. I don't even have one today. I may have one maybe in UFC later. Who knows? We'll see. But again, that's what I'm narrowing down over there. It's $7. That's something that's worth it, even for low bankrolls, because it's something that would cost them like $30. So usually they wouldn't be able to justify that with their bet size, because what's really the edge? Are you really going to make even what makes $30? So again, we're doing that. For you guys over at Sportsmemo. Again, please understand, bro. You see, I don't spend all day promoting. I don't sit there and I could doing Instagram videos telling you I'm number 1 in college basketball. Go over there, buy my package today, blah, blah, blah. I don't do that shit. But it's a business. Wager Talk's a business. And to provide content, to provide a ton of free shit, someone's got to pay the bill. So please understand that when we do promote, we try to do it the right way. And I do it respectfully as I possibly can, because I have done it the wrong way in my past. And I paid for it. Anytime you take shortcuts, it's not a shortcut. Anytime you try to make like quick money, dirty money, fast money, it's never good, bro. It never lasts. It's never sustainable. You're never going to be happy. Like if there's one takeaway from this, try to live as like a honorable life as possible. Like I always say, the code to easy, stress-free, no problems, the New Testament. Like the Harvard professor said, every self-help book is a footnote to it. And it really is. I mean, even people that don't believe. And again, with this, we're here to talk religion. Everyone has different faiths, and that's your business. But just speaking from a historical standpoint, that guy, Jesus, whoever he was in your observation, his ideas were pretty good. Like, it's hard to argue with the dude's ideas. And like what he did while he was here, like he did some pretty good shit. Like that part, I don't know how anybody could argue that part. Like his maybe it's unattainable, but at least he had some pretty lofty freaking goals for us and ideals and wishes for us. So without further ado, let's get into college basketball. Now I'm going to start off from the top. So you should have your odds logic screen up, or at the very least, the Wager Talk odds screen, which is the best free odds screen you are ever going to get. And I'm going to start from the top, 603, 604, Penn and Harvard. I have absolutely no information to share except that the public is on the under. For some reason, that one sticks out a little bit. Woo! We hit that over. Thank God for that. How close did that come? 4% Cornell, Yale over. Damn, that should have been. Do you know that the over was at minus 600? With a couple minutes left, and it barely got there. All right, we'll take it. All right, and then today's Steam sheet. It has a ton of stuff on it. I'll get that up for you guys also. And again, like I said, make sure you go to Wager Talk every day to get the soccer. There's probably soccer up there right now. Yesterday there was even college baseball. Yeah, college baseball, if you can believe that. Okay. So, you know what? Let me just read off the Steam sheet real fast for you guys. Let's just do that. And then I'll go game by game real quickly. That'll be perfect. You lay, bud. I got you. All right. Steam sheet. This is a lot of work. NBA, Philly minus 8.5. Miami minus 3. Under 231 and 230, Milwaukee, Atlanta. NHL, Ottawa minus 160, Calgary plus 140. That's Ottawa minus 160, Calgary plus 140. Now it's all college basketball from there. Sharp, added games first. There's only 2 added games on the Steam sheet. 306, 546, Southern on the money line. I do like Southern on the money line. Not enough line value for a premium, but based on my power rating, which has Southern winning by 4, it does make sense. So I do like Southern. And they also bet under 150.5 in the Prairie View Southern game. Now, college basketball, there's a lot of it. Some of this is already going on. I don't care. I'm just going to read it off quickly so then we could go game by game on what's left. 605, Dayton plus 6. 611, Purdue minus 7. 625, UConn minus 3. 628, Akron minus 7. 629, Virginia plus 8. 631, Kennesaw minus 1.5 and money line. 608, VCU minus 6. 610, Michigan minus 11.5. 605, over 148, Dayton, St. Louis. 618, South Florida minus 14. 616, under 159, Mississippi, Arkansas. 611, under 145.5, Purdue, UCLA. 617, over 152.5, Charlotte, Southern Florida. 619, over 149.5, Tulsa, Wichita. 629, over 137.5, Virginia, Duke. 609, over 160, Wisconsin, Michigan. 613, over 160, Vandy, Florida. 622, over 138, Houston, Arizona. 609, Wisconsin, plus 13. Different than the crew that's on Michigan, minus 11.5. Houston, plus 2. 612, UCLA, plus 8. Different crew on Purdue, minus 7. And 626, St. John's, plus 3. Different crew on UConn, minus 3. So, as you can see, ton of information on the Steam sheet. Now, I know there's a lot of guys in here that don't get the Steam sheet. And you're like, what is that? Very simple. It's so that I can share all the info that I have access to and then narrow down premiums for subscribers, but that they still get this info that didn't make the premium card, but I still have risk on it because it came from the accounts that I provide for these groups. So when I provide an account for different betting groups in different markets, I take a percentage of the account. Say we go 50-50. So I'm responsible for the losses, 50% of the losses, but I also get 50% of the wins. Okay. Now I'll only do that because I know they're going to win long-term. I'm confident in that. Now they have the green light. They bet what they want. I have no control over that. All the stuff that's in the Steam sheet is that all the stuff that they're betting that I have a piece of and stuff that I share with other guys that do my job, and they share what they're betting for groups that they're working with that I'm not. So I could use that to cross off, confirm. It's a beautiful thing. So if you're betting out there, if you're going to be betting the tournaments, you're going to want to know what the line moves mean. And the best way to confirm that is by looking at the Steam sheet and saying, oh, wait, VCU is up to 7.5. Oh, wait, they're on the Steam sheet at -6. Okay, that's why it moved. It's sharp. Sharp's on VCU. So again, that don't mean you're going to piggyback it. You may say, dude, that line should be 9. I still love it. Now that helped confirm. But that's information for you to use how you see fit, but know that I wanted to do good. Now, let's start off real quickly. I'm going to go through the college basketball quick. And then if you have a question, I can tell you. Here's how I work so you understand. I'm going to power rate every single college basketball matchup. I have a side and a total, a line for the side and the total in every game. I trust in these power ratings because I've proven to you guys long-term how well they've done. You saw it in college football. You see it in NBA. You see it in college basketball. And he even gives me NHL power ratings, if you can believe that. It's the same guy I use, and he doesn't gamble. That's why I love him. He's a math geek from Drexel University. Well, went to Drexel University. Could have went anywhere he wanted to, but wanted to stay close to home. Okay? And I was lucky to grow up next to him. And that's it. And I challenged him with creating power ratings. He did so. And next thing you know, my man has come up with these. Just make a long story short. Anyway, so I have a line for every side, every total, and I wait for my guys to start betting. If they come in on, let's say, Mississippi at plus 8.5, and my power rating shows I have that 6.5 or 7, boom. Not only am I going to bet more on Mississippi, but then I'm going to release it to subscribers. That's how I work. So you understand when I say power rated. Penn, Harvard, I have nothing. Game 603, 604, I have nothing. All right. Skip to A10 conference. St. Joseph and VCU. I like VCU and I like the over. I like VCU and I like the over. I can tell you I already bet the over and released that to my subscribers. The problem is that line's moved. That line's now 147, and I released it at 143.5, 144. Yeah, that's why we're very selective. That's why I'm not rushing to put daily packages up. I work with guys that want to partner with me for the year. They're getting stuff like this that beats the closing line by 2 and 3 points. That's what we're here to do. So, you know I'm on the over. I also like VCU. Here's the problem. I have VCU winning this game by exactly 7.25 points. My power rating. So they're -7 on that. There's no line value there. Gun the head, yeah, I take VCU. And seeing that the public's on St. Joseph's, I like VCU even more. But I'm not releasing that to subscribers because based on the power rating, there's not that extra value that I need. That's what's gotten me at number 1 in profit in college basketball this year, by staying that freaking disciplined with it. All right. Damn, bud, I saw one of your brothers is for sale. All right. So I do like VCU, like I said, and I have the total. I have it at 146. That's why we bet it over 143.5, 144. Now it's at 147. I probably wouldn't mess with it. Okay, let's get down to the Big Ten. Big Ten. Wisconsin, Michigan, what a crazy, crazy situation. Everyone and their mother was on Wisconsin. Everyone on their mother was on Wisconsin. I wanted to bet Michigan so bad, but power rating wise, I only had Michigan winning the game by like 9, 10 points. So if anything, I wanted to take Wisconsin. But luckily I saw Michigan in one of the accounts at minus like 10.5 or 11. And I'm like, okay, that's why it's up to 12.5. What do they like? What info do they have? And then I found out the Wisconsin player's not going to play, whatever. So we just passed there. But I did like, what's it called? Michigan until the injured player. Obviously with the injured player, that changes everything. Purdue, UCLA. All right. I like Purdue. Problem, no line value. Once again, based on my power rating, I make Purdue a 7.5 point favorite, another like 7.3. That's where they are, I believe, 7.5. So there's no line value. But here's what I've done. What I was doing is I was using the ones that I like that, and I've been putting in money line parlays. And I figure the book will be happy with those for sure because they're going to look like square shit. And so far, they've done well. Like yesterday, I hit one with VCU. Here, I'll tell you now. It was VCU money line, Purdue money line, Arkansas money line, Virginia money line, and UCLA +6. and that parlay hit yesterday. Today's parlay, I have Purdue money line, VCU money line, Southern money line, Duke money line, and then I left one slot open so that it's a 5-team parlay if these 4 come in. Again, I like doing stuff like that, keeping it open. I'll add an MMA next week or something like that. We'll see. So I that's what I've been doing because it's hard. I'm putting in the work. I'm handicapping the game. My power ratings say Purdue should win this game. VCU should win this game. The problem is they should only win by 6 or 7 or 8. And that's what the line is. So how could I bet it? There's no line value there. Not like Vanderbilt. We bet Vandy plus 8.5, 9, I think. I think I even got 10. Why? Because I had Florida minus 6, 6.5. And I love Florida. But that's why we bet it. If that's not where it is, I'm not going to bet it just because I like that side. Again, if I was betting my predictions, I'd be broke. I bet inefficiencies. That's all I look for. If I say that number's off, why is it off? Is it off the team A? Is it off the team B? I draw my conclusion, I bet, and I trust my instincts. That's what's gotten me this far. Like I said, we're on Vanderbilt in that game. Nothing on the total. I did kind of lean over, but couldn't get confirmation. Mississippi, Arkansas, you already know I like Mississippi there. Mississippi plus 10. We bought the half a point. It was at 9.5. Where is it now? Okay, there's still 9.5s out there. It's worth paying the 10 cents to get the 10 because it should cost like 12 cents to get the 10. So that's one of those half points that's worth it. And believe it or not, I don't know why it matters, but it does. All right. Move down to American Conference. Charlotte, South Florida. I have nothing. Wichita, Tulsa. I like Wichita. My power rating says Wichita by 2, but Tulsa got steamed. I can tell you that. Tulsa definitely got steamed. So I just passed. Houston, Arizona. Houston, Arizona. My power ratings had me on Houston. Because I made Arizona 1. And Houston is getting like 2.5. But again, not enough line value for me to bet them. But just so you know, that's the sign I was leaning based on the line. But I'm not betting it. Obviously, I'm not betting it. San Diego State, Utah State. I have nothing. I do like the – oh, no, we bet the over. What am I saying? That's what I thought. I bet the over 145.5. San Diego State, Utah State over 145.5. 3% play. Gun the head, I like San Diego State a little bit. If you could get plus 3, I don't think it's available. All right, St. John's, Connecticut. I like the over. I do like the over here. Wasn't able to confirm it because sharps went under. So I respect it. When I see an account go under, that's plus CV long term. I'm not going to butt heads with them often. My power ratings like it over, so I just pass. I have Connecticut winning the game by 2. St. John's plus 3, I like. Not enough to get to the window. Not enough line value. Toledo and Akron in the Mid-American. I don't have anything. Akron got steamed earlier. I gave you that off the steam sheet. Virginia and Duke. I like Duke. Duke should be 10-point favorite in this game. Duke's the best team in the country, win or lose. That's not my opinion. That's data. You could argue with data all day. I don't give a shit. I'm just telling you what the data tells me. Duke's the best team in the country. The second best team in the country is Arizona, followed by Florida. There you go. That's what we're looking at. Houston, Gonzaga, Illinois, Purdue, Iowa State, Illinois. Did I mention them? They're all right there. All right, so I like Duke. Kennesaw State, La Tech. I bet the over. I went over 140. If you go to your odds logic screen, click it. What are you going to see? The line bet under, then steamed over. Bet under, then steamed over. Luckily, I'm able to look in the accounts and see this happen in real time. So we're able to navigate through it like we did with that Yale game this morning. If you just look at the line move, you don't know if it's over, is it under? What are they doing? Same thing with Kennesaw and La Tech. But my true line was 144.5. So when it was sitting at 140 and I saw the real account go over 140, we fired a 3% right away. So I'm on over 140 there. I like La Tech. I like La Tech also, but I have them winning by one point something. So again, I don't bet those. I don't bet those. Hawaii and Irvine. I like Hawaii as a dog, just based on power rating. Not enough to bet it. Not enough to bet it. Cal Baptist, Utah Valley. I like the over, but it got steamed under. Vermont cost me this morning. Prairie View Southern, I gave you. That's it. You got all the college basketball. Here, I'll give you my premiums. This is what's premium. Mississippi, plus 10, 4%. Vandy, plus 8.5, 3%. Over Cornell, Yale, 4%. Over St. John's, VCU, 4%. Duke, minus 7, 4%. San Diego State, Utah State, over 3%. Kennesaw La Tech, over 3%. I told you, I had volume today, 8 bets. 8 bets. But if you notice, we've been averaging only 5 per night throughout the conference tournaments when it was going from 9 in the morning till 9 at night. I'm not here to bet for action, bro. I need to see that the groups I'm working with are at optimum and they're seeing things very good and clearly and crushing, and that I'm on point as well. When we line up like that, everybody's making money. When we don't, I'm not betting for. Thank God. Thank you, Lord. I thank God every day. I feel like I'm not worthy of this. I don't deserve it. Like I swear, I'm so grateful, and I am not worthy of the life that God has given me. I'm not. I feel like a hypocrite because it's like, we're all sinners. You know what I mean? And I feel like from where I've come from, and again, not like money's everything, but it makes things so much easier, bro. When you don't look at prices, when you can help people that need help, that you love and care about. Like, it matters, dude. It doesn't fucking matter. Believe me when I tell you, because I've lived with money and I've lived without money. And I can promise you, living with money is a lot better, is a lot better. You're a lot happier. It isn't going to make you happy. It isn't the source of happiness, but not having it sure as hell is going to make you sad. That much I promise you. If it's your only source of happiness, that's the mistake. And that's one of the mistakes I made, was completely committing to my career instead of just staying behind the scenes and making my living. The fact that I wanted to do this like I'm doing right now in the industry had me bypass a lot of relationships and neglect a lot of relationships. And then I turned 50 and I had financial freedom, thank God. Like I didn't have to like punch a clock. No one could fire me. Like no one could cancel me. Like, thank God, like that. Like I had that. I had that, but nothing else. Like I had the UFC contract. So at least it looked like, I got a career. And coming from, a row house in Philadelphia, not having a communication degree, not going up that channel, and them having access to anyone in the MMA space. Like, I feel like I hit the lottery getting to do that for the last 7 years, being a part of the UFC, and them continuing to renew my contract. They renewed it. I'm there for another 2 years. They just renewed it with the Paramount deal. So I'm there for at least another 2 years. Anyway, so I feel very grateful, very, very grateful. But I neglected relationships for that to happen, because I was doing content all the time. I was doing radio in West Virginia at 4 a.m. our time here. So that it was 7 o'clock a.m. radio in West Virginia. And who the hell's going to buy my picks in West Virginia at 7 a.m.? The only one listening to it is a coal miner driving to work. But I wasn't doing it so that I can sell picks. I was doing it so I could gain the experience and show that I have something to share on sports betting. And now another radio station may see that, because I'm able to tweet it that, hey, I was on WW blah, blah, blah in West Virginia talking about Duke, West Virginia. And next thing you know, the radio station from New Orleans reached out and said, hey, you want to come on and talk about the Saints and betting lines? And that's, putting in all that kind of work every single day. Believe me, I neglected a lot of relationships. I put in the work in this industry. That's why where I sit now, I'm able to do this. And I love doing it. Like, I don't feel forced. like last week I was sick, and I'm so sorry to subscribers. It's the first time I've taken off. I don't remember when. Like, I mean, I'm sure I've had to travel and been forced to take off, but not because I couldn't get out of bed. I was that sick with food poisoning last week. And I was coming off an 8-0 night. If you guys remember, we went 8-0 on Friday. I didn't even know. Johnny called me and said, hey, did you go 8-0 last night? I just want to make sure before I finish grading everything that I didn't miss something, because, you know, some of those are soccer or tennis or some shit. And I was like, damn, I did. But I was so sick I couldn't get out of bed. Anyway, what I'm getting at is, like, I was in this industry when I was making nothing, but I was doing it because I loved doing it. I loved sharing all the knowledge and experience I had. That was 2007 when I broke in selling picks. I'm 17 years later. Like, I made mistakes along the way. It was a learning experience and all of that. But I'm grateful where I am now, and I thank God for it. And for those subscribers that allow me to do what I love and I make a living, like, thank you. Thank you. And that's why I didn't give you a 5% today. You allow me to do what I love to do. I will never risk that, bro, to sell 50 packages today. Thank God. And again, if I had to, I probably would. Like, if I had to feed Jackpot, if I didn't have money to feed Jackpot, dude, I'd do it. So I'm not judging anyone. And I did do it. Shit, the first year I sold picks, back in 2007, you know what, I still have my W-2. It wasn't even W-2. I was an independent contractor. I didn't make 30 grand. I didn't make as much as I was making like what, a dishwasher, or a servant, whatever. You know what I mean? But I loved doing it. I loved doing it because I had already been in the industry. That's all I had done up until that time. I was just doing it for real. I was actually betting and moving Steam and shit like that. So getting to do it in this industry has been a blessing. And thank you for allowing me to do it. And those of you that have been with me over the last at least decade, I really am grateful for you guys. We've been trying to do it right since then, and it's paid off. So thank you. Thank you. Let me take sorry, I didn't mean to go deep there. But last week was, dude, I felt so sick. Like, I never felt that. I was worried. I almost called 911. Like, for me to not be able to get out of bed, to not work, to tell Johnny and Kelly, like, give me an hour, I just got to get myself together, and then not be able to get myself together on a college basketball Saturday when we're running hot. And I have people that I'm responsible for and trust me. Dude, believe me, I was dying. I felt like shit. So anyway, enough about that. Let me see if there's any stuff that I could answer for you guys, any games, and I'll get the UFC and get you guys out of here. And again, let me give you my power ratings real fast. So you could, because me and Kelly and Mark are going to do bet on it. But I don't know what kind of info I'm going to be sharing there. And I know most of you guys on here now aren't subscribers. So at least have this for you for your tournaments. Okay. Here, get your shit up. I'm going to give you my power ratings right now. Go ahead. Get your pen and paper. You're lucky. You're welcome. You're welcome. Come on. Ready? I'll give you 1 through 10. Duke, number 1. Arizona, number 2. Florida, number 3. Michigan, number 4. Gonzaga, number 5. Houston, number 6. Illinois, number 7. Iowa State, number 8. Purdue, number 9. Alabama, number 10. You know what? Let me surprise you. Let me surprise you. Guess who's in my top 15? Auburn. Auburn's in my top 15. Guess who's not in my top 25? You ready? I'll give you some of these teams with good records. Villanova's not in my top 25. TCU's not in my top 25. Missouri's not in my top 20. They're not even in top 30. San Diego State's not in my top 30. Miami, Florida's not in my top 30. UCF's not in my top 30. VCU's not in my top 30. Seton Hall is not in my top 30. St. Louis is not in my top 30. There you go. There's teams with some really good records. Dayton's not even in my top 50. You ready for that? You ready for that? Who else? Who else? Let me see some of these high-ranked teams. George Mason. George Mason's not even my top 100. George Mason's not in my top 100. Can you believe that? Yeah, you can. So there's a little gift for you guys. There's a little gift. All right, let me see. Me too, Arvin. I wish it was year round, but college football, I love college football, college basketball the most because I get to use the power ratings. I swear to you. Like, I trust them in college football, in NFL, NBA. They've done well. You saw we profited in NFL, finished number 1 in that regular season. We're profitable in NBA, but I feel like I have more of an opinion in college football. Maybe because I just feel like it's more beatable. Thanks, Bob. Thank you, brother. Thank you. The wife first, my man. The wife first. Good for you, pre-flop Wisconsin. Good for you. Thank you, David. Thanks, my man. Adam, I appreciate you, bro. All I'm trying to do, honestly, bro, I want you to learn from my mistakes. Like, it's like I try to tell my nephews and stuff, like, I'm not talking to you from a level of authority, please, or a saint. I fucked up. I made my life harder than it needs to be. I was my own worst enemy so many times. We say all the times, if I could go and relive my life, if I could be 20 again. So that's what I'm trying to do. Even though I can't be 20 again, let me try to explain to those in their 20 and 30s what I would do if I could go back there. Like, here's where I fucked up, bro. I'm telling you from experience, this is where I fucked up. And when I fixed that, my life got better. Like, it wasn't until I finally fixed that my life improved. And for me, one of the hardest things was patience. I had zero of it. I think because, like, I grew up poor, and that was such an insecurity for me that not only did I need to gain wealth, but I needed people to know it too. And that's disgusting. Like, I had that weakness in me where I was that insecure that I felt I needed people to see it. And you don't have any wealth when that's the case. And that's where I was. Like, I had a fur coat, I had a BMW, and I lived in a row house. I didn't even own a home. It was my parents. You know what I mean? Like, all my bank account was in my pocket. Like, that's gross. Like, don't do that shit, bro. Use your youth as your greatest asset. So you don't have to time a market. You could spend time in it. Like, start just investing anything a little bit. Don't wait for the big score. Stuff like that. And it all comes back to sports betting. It's like poker. When you look at poker and you see the guys that won tournaments, the big tournaments, the guys that are playing millions, except for very few that inherited money, how did they get it? Grinded their way. Most of them from very small stakes. I was here in 97, bro, when Daniel Ingrano was at the Mirage playing. You think he was playing 10-20, 20-40? The fuck they were. They were playing 1-5, 2-4. That's what they were playing. And those few that had the patience, look where they're now. So many had more skill. Hard work beats skill every time out. It took me so long to learn that. Hard work beats skill every time. Beats talent every time. Every single time. That's why you need patience. You need to put in the work. I know we all say that shit, but you actually have to do it. There's no shortcuts. Like, unless you were born wealthy, there just isn't a fucking shortcut. But you could get there quicker by not being your worst enemy. By not living above your means, not doing the stupid shit like I did. I don't even know who these people are. Anyway, all right, let's keep going. I'm sorry. Don't get me all getting in there. Like I said, man, honestly, like, I'm in the second half of my life, okay? And you start to take stock of things that matter, and you realize you're not going to be here forever. And if I am right and there is life after this, I need to get my shit right. Like, there's no second chances. Like, you think things are as bad as they could get. Things get worse. Like, you know, if you don't do right. So again, let's not get philosophical. Let's not philosophical. The only NHL brother are the two that I had. The Anders fight, thanks for asking. Listen, I don't know if there's going to be another rumor like we saw with Michael Johnson last week, but I can tell you the sharp guys early on were opposite Anders. They were on the Tavares side. And the reason was, like Andy Lang talked about, was the retirement talk with Anders. Like historically, guys in that position just haven't done well. Like one foot's out the door. It's hard to back a guy like that. But for whatever reason, he's getting money and the market's showing respect. I'm already on the other side. I'm on Tavares. I made a bad bet. Again, trying to get out ahead of the market. Sometimes you're going to be wrong. Luckily, we're right a lot more than we're wrong. Like if you're 60-40, you're doing great. If 6 out of 10 times you're getting a better number than what it closes at, you're way ahead of the game. You're winning. I think we do better than that. But there are those times, because we do try to get out ahead of the market, where I'm going to look like a fool, where I'm going to take -7 and it goes off -5 and you look like a jerk off. What did you bet -7 for? You couldn't wait to bet -5? You know, but I didn't know it was going to go to -5. If I did, you think I wouldn't have fucking waited? What are you talking about? But you can't say that. So you just eat it. And you figure it out. Some people are just going to talk shit because they need to talk shit. Oh, who are you an actual fan on? Love the question, Brennan. I'm not, bro. I wish I can tell you I was. I don't have a future. I don't have a future in college basketball right now. When the tournament, once they get the seedings up, I will have a future. So that's who I'll be a fan of. Today, I'm a fan of Mississippi plus 10. I'm a fan of Vanderbilt plus 9. I'm a fan of Duke -7. I'm a fan of over 162.5 Cornell Yale. I'm a fan of over 145.5 San Diego State Utah State. I'm a fan of over 140 Kennesaw La Tech. And I'm a fan of over 143.5 St. Joe VCU. That's who I'm a fan of in college basketball. That's it. That's it. And then I do want to see Purdue and VCU win the game on the money line, because I put in a big money line parlay with those two and open spot. So a 3-teamer that I'll fill in later, because I gotta keep some accounts cool. And the best way to do that is some nonsense like that. Let me see. What's the Tavares line? I don't think we can buy out of it. That's the problem, right? Yeah, I mean, I have Tavares minus what? 150 or something like that? Let me see what I have him at. Shit, I got to look in my book. What does my book have him at? Oh, I have Tavares at minus 125. I bet him at minus 125 and minus 130. So technically, I can take Anders at like minus 115 and pay a little juice instead. But no, I'm not sold on the Anders side. And it's not a big enough move to scare me that much. It's not as big as last week. It's not as big as last week when we saw the Johnson move. Now, if Anders was a minus like 180, 190, yeah, I'd be very worried. But not where it sits. I'm going to let mine ride. I'm going to let mine ride. Again, I would have felt better having Tavares plus 110 than minus 125. Yeah, much better bet. But, you know, it's the price of trying to get out ahead sometimes. It's okay. I'll take it. Let me see what else. And then I'll get in the MMA real fast. And like I said, here's what's going to happen. Once we shut this down, okay? College basketball, I'm done. I have a few leans that if something happens to come in to confirm it, you may get one more play, but I doubt it. Like I said, I'm way ahead with the college basketball. Like I already have tomorrow's matchups. I'm already writing them down as these games go final. So I could create my own line in total for the final tomorrow. And once the brackets go up Sunday, I'll be power rating every single matchup. So by Monday morning, I'll have my own side in total for every single game in the big dance. That much I promise you. Hey, why are you hurting, bud? Do I got to take you to the vet again? You weren't hurting yesterday, or you just feeling grumpy? Saturdays are going to be tough, but I'm going to have to get the assistant to take you, okay? Or hire someone to dog walk you for a couple hours. I don't know what to do with you, okay? Because I know this is no fun. I know. Daddy been up since 4:30. This is no fun for him. All right. All right, let's get there. Let's get there. Sorry, boys and girls. I know we got some ladies in here, and some of you ladies make some of the best betters, that's for sure. Thank you, David. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you guys, honestly. And that's why I like you guys motivate me to fucking come in here and just leave and try to leave, just like the blackjack course. I swear, I'm not trying to promote it. Most of you are that. Listen, bro, I don't know how many people are in here in all the channels combined, but I'm not signing up people to go for the year. I would have spent the last 30 minutes trying to promote that. Okay. Most of you already joined with me for the next 10 months and you already got the blackjack course, but it's like with that blackjack course. All right. If once you master what's in that, you control your own destiny. You now have the edge. It's just, do you have the discipline to apply it? I told you guys that before the course even started. If you had add, subtract, multiply, and divide and are passionate, I can teach anyone to be an advantage blackjack player. I could teach you every trick in the book to give you longevity and also beat the eye in the sky. But do you have what it takes to go out there and pull it off? Do you have the patience when the deck's not working your way to battle through it and still bet size correctly? Do you have the discipline to lose 5, 10x bets in a row and now you got to go back to a 1x bet? Meaning you just lost 5 hands for 1,000 each, and now strategy says you got to bet 100. Your next hand you got to bet 100. So you lost $5,000 and you now got to bet 100. But that's what the strategy calls for. Or you're going to chase that 5 dimes. You find out real quickly in blackjack what you're built for because it happens so fast in real time. That was my holy grail moment. Until then, that's how in the Lost in the Sky I was. I was betting for these winning groups for so long, but I hadn't really understood the long term because what's the long term with sports betting? And these guys were actually betting volume, but I still couldn't grasp that concept. But with blackjack, you see long term in real time because in blackjack, you get me a fast dealer, I'm betting 200 hands an hour with him one-on-one. In 4 hours, I'm getting 800 hands. Just in 4 hours. If I work 5 days a week, what's that? 4,000 hands in a week? In a month, 16,000 hands? Dude, I'm making 16,000 bets a month. You know how long that's going to take me doing sports betting? But in blackjack, by making that many bets, you saw that as long as you did the right thing every time, there's nothing they could do but pay you. Like, you're going to get the money. It's just a matter of time. Like, do I have the patience to sit there and go through all these shoes? That's it. Or am I going to chase those demons and bet more when I shouldn't, or split when I shouldn't, double down when I shouldn't? Am I going to do the stupid shit? And it carries over to sports betting. Am I going to wait and bet Duke -7 because my power rating says Duke -10? The group I work for, who's plus EV in college basketball, just bet Duke -7 as well. And the matchup makes sense. Am I just going to wait for that? Or am I also going to bet St. John's +3 because, hey, I like St. John's +3. Now my power rating only has the game at 2. So I have maybe a point edge. That's nothing. That's a coin flip. And I'm laying 11 to 10. So I'm losing that coin flip. If I got to lay 11 to win 10, that ain't a good coin flip. I don't want to be on the side of that coin flip. Ain't that the truth? The harder you work, the luckier you get. True that, my brother. True that. Yeah, I never got so lucky as when I wasn't sleeping. Yes, sir. We're staying on Tavares. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, so let me give you what I got in UFC too, so I could get you guys out of here. I think I got 3 bets so far, right? There'll be more. That's why I'm giving them. I know my subscribers won't be pissed. Okay. I got Pieta Rodriguez minus 135, 4%. Brad Tavares minus 135, 4%. Vitor Petrino minus 215, 3%. Now, I did get some resistance on the Petrino, but it's already there. And like I said, I will be sharing some more UFC premium plays as confirmed. If not confirmed, I'm not forcing nothing. My only goal is to make money. And today we don't have the soccer to help bail us out. So let me see if there's any more questions. Then here's what we're doing. Listen. Tuesday, I'm doing bet on it. Okay, Tuesday's bet on it. We're going to go over the tournament. I want to have a steam room. Let me think about it today and tomorrow. I may have a steam room the day of the tournament, the day before, or wait till Saturday for the Sweet 16. Let me figure it out. I'll see what it looks like with futures. If there's a bunch of futures I want to discuss, then we'll do the steam room prior to the first day of the tournament. Otherwise, or the first day of the tournament. Otherwise, we'll connect again on Saturday. And like I said, we'll go as long as we got to go, baby. We'll go as long as we got to go. Now, for today, it's not a big board. It's condensed board as the conference tournaments slow down. But with that said, let me see if something came in. Oh, Howard, second half. Howard -6. I don't know if that went off. It's in the instant messaging. I wasn't paying attention. Howard -6. Howard -6. Anyone got a score on that game? Howard -6. No, it's off. Howard went off. Ooh, Michigan second half, no? Oh, no, Howard started. Damn, I liked Howard in that because they bet him for the game. And usually you'll see him even come in on the other side then in the second half. But the fact they came in on the game and bet him again now in the second half, I kind of agree with that. All right, let me give you what the public's on the most today. I know some of you guys care about that. The most heavy bet sides they were on was Wisconsin, believe it or not, Yale, UCLA, St. Joe's. So I think there's UCLA, St. Joe's are still there. And yeah, that's going to do it, man. You guys are the shit. Don't forget. More UFC coming your way. Tomorrow there's some finals. And then Ace is getting to work on that tournament. Expect some futures because of my power ratings. We're going to bet team to win like the West. We're going to bet team to get to the Sweet 16. We're going to get team to not make the Sweet 16. You're going to get a bunch of props. If you don't want volume, ignore it, bro. Please don't cry to customer service because other people want it. And other people are betting it and making money betting it. So if you have multiple outs, you shouldn't have a problem getting these props. I'm not throwing crazy props. I'm throwing props that should be available. Michigan to make the Sweet 16. Yes, -140, whatever. That's what I'm giving. I'm not giving the fifth bench player to get under 1.5 assists for 4%. I'm not doing that. So yeah, work with me because I know like there's value in that shit. So I want you to have it. I have these power ratings sitting there. And we can't do that really with college football. We could do it with college basketball because of the tournament. So I'm hoping I have 30 prop bets tomorrow. Again, I mean Monday and Tuesday. Only a handful will be premium. The rest will be on the Steam sheet. So grab that Steam sheet for Wednesday, Thursday. If you're betting the college basketball tournament, you will not be disappointed. If you joined up, please, please, please. If you've been with me since January 1st, I hope you're already ahead. Neil, love you, brother. If you're not yet, every morning's an opportunity to do the right thing and to cover up that hole and stop digging. So many big holes I could have dug up a lot. I could have covered up a lot quicker. I just needed to put the shovel down. And for whatever reason, I couldn't put the fucking shovel down. I beg you, put the shovel down. We've all fucked up, bro. We've all made mistakes. I made investment mistakes because it was new to me. I had a shitload of money. I'm not going to put it all in the sports betting market. So I went into stocks, crypto, real estate, commodities, metals. Believe me, I got burned some. I got burned because it was new to me. I didn't know this shit. I didn't understand it. So there's no shame in it. With sports betting, the same. But there's an opportunity every morning to do it the right way. And I explained to you today that if you just bet small in relation to your bankroll, try not to bet more than 1% of it. You'll survive the cold streaks and you'll be around the profit. Okay? Remember, one goal, December 31st. If they're aligned, we won't be disappointed. Let's keep doing damage. I'm real excited about these next couple weeks. And then you know what's coming, baseball. And I said it before, I'll say it again. If I can only bet one sport, and you know I love betting MMA because I get to pick most of the stuff. But for profit, if I had to bet one sport, I'd pick baseball. I really would. Because I know historically, that offers the most betting opportunities. Every day, multiple series, games, first fives, so many props. Like there's so many betting opportunities. So next couple months are going to be a lot of grinding, but it'll all be worth it because we're going to look up and we're going to have doubled our bankroll. And hopefully we could get that done before football comes, and then we could really do some fucking damage like last season. So I love you guys. Enjoy your Saturday. Hope when the dust settles, we turn a little profit today and move on to Sunday. Whether you follow or fade, I really hope you do some damage because you shouldn't agree with me on everything. In fact, you should disagree with me a lot. I'm definitely never going to be 100%. So you should have your own opinion and you should stick to it. If you have conviction, good for you. We shouldn't always agree. And you shouldn't always bet. You don't have to bet what I bet. You don't have to bet what I bet. I promise you that. I'm telling you, Robert, it's the same group that I'm getting the college baseball, that other baseball that I was giving you guys, that AAA stuff. Remember we were betting that for a couple weeks? It's the same group that does my MLB. I promise you. That's what I'm working with this year. So yeah, we're going to be on point, bro. We're going to be on point. Be excited. Come here, bud. Say, oh, you hear him? You hear him? Say hi. Say hi, little mouse. Look at him. Say hi, bud. Come here. Come here. Dude, he's so small. He's so small. He got weighed at the vet, 2.1 pounds, and that was after he ate. He was born New Year's Eve. He's 10 weeks old. He loves me so much. I don't know if anyone out there with dogs, does it sound bad? Like, should I take him to the vet? Or is he just crying like a puppy? Because it's like he's limping a little. Hi, I love you. Give me a kiss. Up, 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 up with daddy. Up with daddy. Oh, boy. Oh, see how he just squealed? Fuck, man. And today I was bad. I fed him grilled chicken and steak, no seasonings, nothing. Because he was doing his kibble, but I said, you know what? He needs a meal. And I'd asked the vet. I told the vet, I said, dude, like what kind of soft food could they eat? Because I don't like that soft food, the dog food shit. Fresh Pet was okay. I gave that to my dog back in the day. Anyway, make a long story short, I told the vet, like, hey, can I feed him like grilled like steak, fish, chicken, like good proteins like that? He's like, well, I wouldn't. I said, it's not good for him. He's like, no, but you don't want to spoil him unless you plan on doing that forever. And I'm like, so in a world that I do plan on feeding him steak and chicken forever, I can do that? He's like, if you want. So anyway, hopefully I got his little help. I said, let me get him a real meal. And, he already's gotten his kibble in and stuff. And I gave him some grilled chicken, grilled steak. He's a man. He's so good, dude. He's so good. He was had six altogether, brothers and sisters. And I waited like till this past week. I just got him. He was just too small to travel and stuff. Great story he's got. And yeah, coolest coat. This coat, I think it's called Merle. And I found out if both dogs have this coat, they can't mate because then there's a high probability the baby will be sick. I had no idea. So there's something in their, obviously in their genetic code or something. Huh, bud? All right, little Mel, I love you. Okay, we're gonna let these guys go. I still got to get to work. Okay, I promise you. And if anyone's got any ideas with dogs, like are those trainers good ideas, dog walkers good ideas, any of that shit good ideas? Like, because I work a lot, or should you not let them, you know, be a stranger? So I make time with them and stuff. So anyway, I love you guys. God bless. If you're going to church tomorrow, say a prayer for me and my family, and I'll pray for you and yours as well. God bless you. And thank you again. Thank you for joining me for today's Steam Room. And I really hope you guys make some money this weekend, and more importantly, ahead. Just so you're happy, dude. Make enough to be. If that's what it takes to get by, that's all you need, man. That's all you need. God bless you, bro. God bless you, Bob. God bless you, D. Robert, love you, man. All you guys. Thank you, Mikey. You're the shit. God bless you, bro. All of you. It's like I don't want to leave. It's like I'm hanging out with my friends and shit. So it's like you almost don't want to fucking hang up. But we got to get to work. So been up a long time. And again, thank you. Thank you. Those that are with me for 2026, so far so good. So let us get a little brag in. I promise you, I'm not resting on my laurels. As you can see, staying selective, staying disciplined, and focused on the end goal. Epic 2026. Thank you. Thank you, D. All right. We're locked in, brother. We are locked in. God bless you.